everyone, my name is Victoria and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about something that just hits me at another level, hits my soul, just something that I feel we need to have a conversation about. An honest and true one. And that is Zoom etiquette. So if you're like the rest of the world, you've become very accustomed to Zoom. You know, the video chatting site, or Google Hangouts or something video chat related in the time of COVID-19. You know, I, for one, as a 21-year-old college student, have really felt like I'm getting my money's worth from Zoom University. That's sarcasm if you didn't catch that. But yeah, Zoom is a strange platform, I think, because it's calling for folks from different generations to get on the same platform and expect that we all have some level of understanding how to use it, which is not the case most time. And I, for one, have been on so many Zoom call meetings within the past 4 months, more than I would like to admit. And since being in those calls, I have learned that there's a few things, just a few, that kind of irk me. And I think we need to have an honest conversation about Zoom etiquette. Yes, so I'm going to talk about a couple of things that I think you can do, that can make your Zoom experience a bit better. And if there's someone on your calls that just isn't getting it, feel free to send them this video. The first etiquette tip I would give all of you is that if you're on a call and you're not the one talking or facilitating, mute yourself. Literally, just mute yourself. The little button is right there on the bottom left-hand corner. I've been on so many calls where I'll hear a leaf blower in the background from someone who's not facilitating or leading the meeting or talking at the time. So please just, you know, it kind of makes the conversation hard, because if you're hearing a leaf blower and it's taking up so much of the audio space on Zoom and you can't really hear the person that's talking, it is a headache. And also, as someone who wears earphones to all my Zoom meetings, my ears hurt. So first tip, just mute yourself. The second thing is share the mic. And what I mean by this is that I've been on Zoom calls sometimes that have 3 people on it, upwards to almost 40 people on a call. And something that I've noticed that is kind of hard to gauge is sometimes folks will just start talking at the same time and start talking over each other. So what I really encourage is that Zoom has some reaction features that are usually on the bottom bar of your, I don't know, the thing that you see on your screen. Definitely feel free to use those to jump into the conversation, but also we have a chat box for Zoom. You can also use that, but I always say just kind of get a gauge, feel it out. What I always use the rule of 3 seconds. So if someone's not saying something in 3 seconds, I can jump in. And what I say is sometimes I'm not feeling like it's my time to talk, I just be like, I just kind of want to interject real quick and just add. So I definitely feel free to use that tip as well. But talking about the chat box, my next tip is about using the chat box respectfully. And what I mean by this is that if your thought is more than 2 sentences, just say it out loud. Just say it out loud. Like, my eyes don't need to be bombarded by your trilogy in the chat box. And sometimes I get that meetings, you know, call for different etiquette tips or whatever. I would just say use the chat box wisely, okay? Because rule of thumb, if it's more than 2 sentences, you're better off just saying it out loud. Because sometimes folks just don't read the chat. So yeah, theme of the chat box, please, 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 if you are not hosting the Zoom call, please be mindful of the private messages you send on Zoom. From my knowledge, the host of the Zoom call will get a transcript of all the messages that were sent. So don't be talking bad, saying Becky up in the right-hand corner, she looks crusty with that bun, okay? Don't be saying stuff like that, because you're gonna get in trouble. Listen, I'm saying, just don't. Just, if you have a private conversation, take it into private channels. Don't gotta do it through Zoom. It might not be the most appropriate setting to air out your grievances, okay? Okay? So be mindful of that. I have read a lot of articles about Zoom etiquette and what folks think and like what are the rules and tips. You know, I've read Wall Street Journal, some business schools have some articles. I'm a basic bitch. I'm not going into business. I'm not on Wall Street. But one of the biggest tips that they give is to stage your video area. So what you see in the background. And I'm actually coming at you from where I usually take my Zoom calls. And as you can see back there, it's a whole cabinet of alcohol. More particular, tequila. And so, not the most appropriate Zoom background because I got happy hour here 24/7. But what I would say about your Zoom background is you can also add virtual backgrounds in the Zoom function. You could do that. That's really cool. Sometimes when I have more professional meetings, I will do that just because happy hour isn't the most appropriate sometimes for certain conversations. So I would say definitely check out that. But also like just make sure, I would say, your background isn't something so distracting from the conversation. Because I know for me, sometimes when I get on these calls, it's already hard. It's already mentally draining to be on a video chat, right? And feel like, oh my God, everyone can see me. But just make sure that, like, you know, it's not something too distracting, that the point of the conversation is the purpose so you can get done with the Zoom call a lot faster. But also I would say that your background is also a way where you can bring in some of your personality. There's definitely a lot of articles out there and a lot of cool Zoom backgrounds you could take and put into your system. So I would say definitely make sure to check out what is available. The next thing is a controversial one, but I've been on so many Zoom calls where I'll be facilitating and folks give me nothing to work with. And what I mean by this is that I know that we're all in precarious situations and sometimes you don't have a nice Zoom background or whatever, or sometimes you don't feel comfortable being on camera, and that's completely fine. But what I would say is, like, if you go into a Zoom call, either turn on your camera, or, because I get that some people don't want to turn on their camera, upload a photo to your Zoom account. And what that does is when you turn off your video camera in a call, your photo will pop in. And I feel like that is so much better than me speaking to like a little black box and I'm just like, hi, how are you? Doing well? Great. So we want to talk about financials. Just give the person who's facilitating something to work off of, or else it'll just make the meeting worse and long and just dreadful. So take that into consideration. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please feel free to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content. So here's all my tips and tricks for Zoom etiquette. Definitely not a comprehensive list. If all of you have any comments or suggestions, definitely leave it down below in the comment area, you know. But these are just some things I've noticed from my time in Zoom or Google Hangouts or whatever video platform you use. Like I said earlier at the start of the video, if you want to share this with folks that are just not getting Zoom etiquette, definitely feel free to. Also, feel free to follow me on any of my social media. Links are down below. Also, the articles that I use to kind of craft this video will be listed down below. So just check out the description box as supplemental to this video. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day, and don't be a boo-boo on the Zoom, okay? I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you so I can help me, okay? Great. Glad we had this talk. Bye.